This week on Focus 50 Plus, Dr. George Schofield is back with us to talk about identity. Dr. Schofield, thank you so much for joining us this morning. And what are some things we need to know of when we consider identity?
Well, first of all, we need to know it's very important for people after 50. Earlier in our lives, we don't think about it. It's like our fingers. It's always there and attached. We are students, we are children, we are a whole variety, we fill a variety of roles. And then we go to work, jobs. What happens after 50 is often those roles begin to leave us. Sometimes.
So how do those change?
Well, for instance, you can lose a spouse, you can lose a job. There are a whole variety of things for you out there that are going to happen after 50. And the truth is that it's going to shift who you are if you're not aware of who you are and how much you're defined by your roles as opposed to by yourself. Then the fact is you're not going to be connected with who you need to be as the world's changing.
And what are a couple of things to keep in mind then so that they can keep this identity?
Well, the great thing to do is regularly sit down, write down the 5 words you would use to describe yourself. And then go to 3 friends and say, what are the 5 words that you would use to describe me? Put those words together, and if that's not a match for who you want or need to be in the world today, then you build an action plan and say, okay, this isn't working for me. What will work for me?
And do you need to update your identity plan as well as you move through and maybe tweak it a bit?
Absolutely. If, for instance, you lose a spouse or you lose a job, it's really easy to have, oh, I'm not employed as my identity.
Right.
That's not a very good thing. That's not a very good choice. So what you need to do is to sit down and craft who you want to be using those descriptors I just talked about, the 5 things you most want to have describe you, and figure out how to become those well after 50.
Yeah, it's a really interesting topic. And where can people get more information about this and other things?
Oh, they can go to my book. Thank you for asking.
Okay.
After 50, it's up to us. They can also go to my website, and they can Google identity and read about it.
And there you go right there. You have the phone number. Now, what is next week's topic?
We're going to talk about grandparenting because it's not the same today as it was when we were grandchildren.
Oh, yes. A lot of things happening. So thank you so much, Dr. Schofield, for joining us. We'll see you next week.
Pleasure.
And we will be back after this.